dance.
Defers to Booker with a long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I am your host, Gavin, and we are joined by everyone's favourite piece of shit, Boyd. How are you, my friend?
Very good, buddy. How are you today?
Wonderful. The mustache is looking much better than last time, I think. It's come along quite well. It's filling out.
Yeah. It's really bad, man. It's really bad. It's taken me all year to get a somewhat full mustache, and it's still not up to scratch, if you ask me. So, I grow it all year. I cheat the whole November thing, as per you, and I just fucking I'm a fraud, basically.
You're a fraud. I feel like there's a little too much beard going on.
Yeah,
I feel like you need to get rid of that and just go full mustache.
Yeah, shit grows so quick, man. I'm too lazy to fucking stay on top of it.
No, that's fair enough. I completely understand. If you are following along, if you're on YouTube or whatever, click like, click subscribe, do all that great stuff that we love that you do to help us out. Make sure you comment, all that sort of stuff. Follow us on the socials. We're on pretty much all of them. So Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us at Aussie Suns Fans, Facebook, wherever you like, really. Boyd, it's been a hell of a 2 weeks, my friend. We've both been very, very busy. I've barely seen any basketball. I've checked out some highlights and stuff like that. Obviously, the box scores, but it's been a really rough 2 weeks. Let's run through these games. We haven't really had the game notes going, so we're just going to encapsulate the entire 2 weeks full of comments and not go specifically, but to kick off, since we last potted, we had a 118 to 127 loss to Sacramento. We had a win against Utah, 120 to 112. A 104-127 loss to Sacramento. 83-99 loss to OKC. 117 to 120 loss to Minnesota and the referees. A 99 to 109 loss to Orlando. And a 122 to 138 loss against the New York Knicks. Where's your head at, mate? How's your last 2 weeks been? One win out of the 2, 4, 6, 7 games.
Mate, I've been on an emotional roller coaster, man, and it's from game to game. Obviously we can't expect to win every game that our two of our big three are out, right? You can't expect it. But what grade did you give our off season, Gavin? With our recruitment and our filling out our depth, what grade did you?
I had a A minus for, and the only reason it wasn't higher was that we put ourselves in a position that we were restricted to not do a hell of a lot more. But I thought if you compare last year's off-season fill out in comparison to this year's fill out, well, it was chalk and cheese, right?
It was.
So
it
yeah.
was. Yeah, and I suppose that's where I've gone with this. Like, I expect that to pay off in these times. That grading that we all gave this, it's just not. It's just fucking not. Right? We were way too high on our depth. And look, I don't think that our depth is fucked forever by any means. But I just think that there's still a lot more work. And I wasn't happy on the farm when we were winning with our big three. I thought that there was, because they were close, man, and they were understrength teams a lot of the times that we're playing. So I wasn't getting happy on the farm then, and it really, really came to light as soon as we get a fucking chink in the armor, man. It really came to light that we have a fucking long way to go. We need reps, we need continuity, we need fucking a little bit of luck on our side health-wise. It was frustrating as fuck for me. A couple of moments in these games. A couple of periods, a couple of halves, were really, really, really reminiscent of last year. I don't know if you watched this one in particular, but I think it was the Sacramento Kings, Gav, and it was a real fucking downtime for me. It was when Book let his emotions get the better of him and he just started pushing cunts. He fucking was it OKC? Was it Lou Dort? Or was it fucking the kid?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, that game. But he lost it, and a couple of times in that match, he lost his cool, man. And it just reminded me of that book that used to, how he used to do them pissy fouls when he used to, not get a call. Then he'd think that he was hard done by. Then he'd just go and do something stupid, a stupid fucking take foul or whatever. It reminded me of that, and I felt like that was a real throwback to something that we were never going to see again.
Yeah. And
it annoyed the fuck. And then I got really negative. You might have noticed. But
no, not at all.
No. Look, it just compounded onto my not being happy on the farm with our 8-1 record to start with, not being fully convinced, and it just compounded when I saw the way that we reacted to losses and down periods, and the way that we got punched and we fucking got back into things, but we didn't fucking we haven't put a fucking full 4 quarters together. I don't think in the entire span of having Durant with this, with the Suns. I don't know. Maybe we have, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was. I think frustrating is probably the key word to go for. And what I saw over these couple of weeks, and when I've got on and watched periods of it, I mean, I saw most of the Minnesota game, which was a good game to watch. Apart from the fact that we got completely and utterly screwed out of that in the last quarter, but some of the other games, I watched a bit of the Knicks game, then got caught up. But what I watched in that Knicks game, and I think you put it together perfectly there. It reminded me of last year. The lack of effort, the lack of engagement. It was the shit that we put up with last year, and it was really disappointing to see. It was like they, to me, it seems like the last week last week and a half, they've hit the court with the expectation that they're going to lose, so they're not putting the effort in. And they're just going, hey, we'll just ride this out until KD and Beal are back, and then we'll get back on track and try again. Now, as you are well aware, Boyd, I'm a big fan of the 25-game rule in the NBA, that you are effectively sorting everything out for your season in the first 25 games. So peaks and troughs happen, and it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
What's happened in the first 25 games. But there's concerns in this 25 games. That's my biggest point at the moment, is normally I would just disregard it. But to play so poorly over the last 2 weeks, and we'll come up with it, we'll talk about it later on, right, in our stat of the week. There's certain things about this period in the last week and a half that are really, really bad signs for this team moving forward. And it's something that needs to be addressed. And we don't want to see them slip back into what happened last year, where Vogel lost the players. You could tell they weren't engaged. You could tell they didn't want to put the effort in to push for any type of result. And we're sitting 9-7. Again, it's not the end of the world. We're not done. We're not cooked by any way, shape, or form. I mean, you get KD and Bill back, and over the next 7 days, we win 6 of 7, and we're back in the top 3 in the West. But still, you don't want to see where we're sitting right now and the effort that we've put in over the last 7 days.
Yeah.
Who was your player of the 2 weeks?
Of the shit fight? My player of the shit fight? It's got to be... Man, it's got to be... It's just going to... For the overall body of work, it's going to be Josh Okogie. Just because he's come in... That poor cunt has come in. He's come in and he's just had... He's got every cunt in the world trading his ass, and then he comes in and he's one of the few guys that really put effort in on every play. Now, I've seen spots of effort by a lot of our guys, but nothing as consistent as what Okogie has done since coming back.
Yeah, I like it, especially given the fact that basically for the first 10 games of the year, they went, hey, Josh, you're not playing. You're gonna sit your ass on the end of the bench. You're getting no minutes whatsoever.
Healthy. I reckon he was healthy.
I know he was injured.
We all had a hard on for Ryan Dunn.
Yeah, everyone had the Ryan Dunn hard on. I know he was injured for a lot of the games, but still, when he came back, he sat his ass on the end of the bench. Didn't get any of the minutes. And then, as you said, the injuries happened, and Okogie, he stepped up. I'm going to go with somebody a little bit different, though, and I'm going to go with more of the emergence piece, and I'm going to go with Oso over this last week and a half or so, because his minutes have been really, really good. The stuff that he's contributing out on the floor, both defensively and offensively, the passing still there that we saw in the preseason. That little push shot was going quite nicely. He had his career high, obviously, in one of those games. Can't remember which one it was now. But defensively, he's got added a little bit of versatility. He's really put himself in the frame for extended minutes, even with Nurk and Plumlee playing those or playing in those games. And yeah, I've enjoyed watching. I've actually enjoyed watching both him and Ryan Dunn getting pretty good minutes over the last couple of weeks.
Let me tell you this. I really think that if Oso can sort out his, which he's been playing a lot more physical, well, trying to, if he can consistently drag down these rebounds, which is a major thing that we sort of love with Nurk. Well, Nurk had better fucking hurry up and get his three going because sorry mate, but and I love Nurk, and I'm not one of these guys wanting to trade him every bad game he has by any means, but also is outplaying what we all thought he was going to. We all thought he was going to be a good rotation piece. He's outplaying that, and he's had a couple of games where he's fucking he's been crashing them boards, man. And
and as I said, for me, it's the defensive versatility, because we look like a better defensive team with Oso on the floor, just given the fact that he can actually move and cover from a perimeter down. And I think that's where Nurk's been getting exposed a little bit, is they're making him stretch to the 3-point line and then blowing past him. I mean, Nurk was pretty good against Minnesota, but still, even there, you could hear Book on the floor a couple of times when he'd come out to try and close out on Cat, and Cat had just blow past him for the layup, and you could hear Book on the mics in the back, "Come on, Nurk!" Like it's just, it was, Oso's defensive versatility is going to open him up to a lot more minutes on the floor, and that's why Bol's not playing, right? Is Bol's probably a better offensive threat, but Coach Bud right now knows that especially when KD, Bill, and all the guys are playing, he doesn't need the additional massive offensive threat, but he does need defensive spread coverage, and that's what Oso's going to give.
Not only the coverage. So at the moment, we've got the lack of physicality inside with Oso, and they're kind of like polar opposites. Nurk's got all the physicality that you want inside, but he hasn't got that. He can't take a couple of steps out and fucking stretch. So, but this is why I'm intrigued by Oso. If he keeps up, and he's been trying inside, he's been trying to man up and bang with these guys. I've noticed that he's copped a couple of fouls, which I thought he was a bit hard done by. But yeah, look, if he puts it together and he can work it out, he's fucking, like I said, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's the rookie call, right? Where maybe they might let a couple of them bang normally. Once Oso gets on the floor, he's copping the rookie call where, you're trying to bang with Karl Anthony Towns. Sorry, mate, but Karl Anthony Towns is a superstar.
And that was one of the ones that I actually noticed. It was Towns, because Towns, he saw it and he just went, "Yep, I'm going to eat you up, mate. I'm going to fucking get you." And then he went hard, but he wasn't. The thing is that also wasn't going back 3 meters like he should. He was timing his push ups, and he's just fucking he got pinged a couple of times on that. But I just liked that he was giving it a go, and he wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, that's going to be key. That defensive versatility is going to be key going forward. And I mean, look, both Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant are really solid defenders, and we'll extend on this at Stat of the Week. That's the in the first 10 games. I think we made comment about the hustle and the effort that we didn't see last year actually being shown on the defensive end. In this last 7 games, that ain't been the case. the defensive end is a significant gap right now.
I think our on-board defense has been okay. It hasn't been great, but it's been okay. It's just as soon as they start switching things up, and we've got to have some sort of we need to have that defensive glue to know to switch up and stay. It feels like when they're taking their shots, they've got that extra foot or extra step of space to get a better look. It's just it's just timing. It's just having that.
Yeah, well, we've dropped back to last year's defensive schemes as well, where we're trying to defend the perimeter from inside the 3-point line, where in that first 10 games we're extending past the 3-point line and actually look like we could get those stops and had stopped the penetration. You look at that Timberwolves game was a prime example. We had extended defense outside the 3-point line for that, and Edwards struggled in that game.
Hey, further on that, I'm pretty sure it was that Timberwolves game, because it was when we actually when we sort of really, what was it? The third quarter when we really amped it up. I think it was. Anyway, we were picking guys up full court. Extending past the 3-point line. We're extending past the half court fucking line.
And that was the thing, right? It was extended defense, and we actually look like the Timberwolves had to work to score. Yeah. They weren't just getting those easy baskets that we saw against Orlando, we saw against the Knicks. It was Jalen Brunson pretty much did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Man,
in that game against the Knicks.
I don't think that ball met iron once in the first fucking 6 minutes of the game for not just Brunson.
But if you don't have that extended defense and make them work for it, now I don't know whether they were trying to conserve energy given the fact that the rotations were not going to be as big, but we can't afford to do that.
Our offense missing 2 of our big 3. Yeah, you're right. We can't afford to do it because haven't got much to fucking lean back on. And
no, it's true.
And that was a big problem last year. Is I think that the fact that they were so high on their offense meant that they weren't as stringent on the other end of the floor. They really did go to sleep, and that's where we sort of started saying, "Oh no, they're fucking full of themselves. They think they're just going to go back down the other end and fucking make up for it and more."
Yeah,
but yeah, it's hey, the leadership thing is fucking really apparent right now. Like Stephen A. Smith saying that KD is not a leader. Blah blah. Phoenix needs a leader. Well, KD got mic'd up a few times recently. I think it was post that fucking Stephen A. Smith comment, and he's I don't know if he's just doing that for the mic, maybe a little bit of increase because of that. But man, I felt it inspired hearing him talk to his teammates and just his general banter during a game. I thought, well, fuck, if that's not a leader, I don't know what one is. And we've kind of missed that, and also to a certain extent, Bradley Beal as well. He's that vibes guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's clear. Over these 7 games in particular, that's been really clear that we've lacked leadership. Book's trying to carry everything himself, but basically teams are just doubling Book out of the game and going, we'll take him out of the game and let everyone else try to beat us. And you're spot on. The leadership just hasn't come from anywhere else.
And the one team that didn't, I think, was OKC. Well, they didn't do it much. They're the fucking best defensive team in the league, so they don't need to fucking double team because they've got you locked up everywhere.
Yeah, Lou Dort just basically shut Book down in that game. So
they were missing Caruso, but they've got enough spare.
Yeah, absolutely. Who on this squad after the last 7 games, Boyd, needs to pull their fucking finger out?
What's up?
Who needs to pull their fucking finger out? Like, there's probably multiples, but I want to know who the biggest one is to pull their fucking finger out.
I want to. I'm going to say Ryan Dunn again, because Ryan Dunn, and he's gone through that rookie slump. I don't know if it was Fugazi and it was a fucking little purple patch or whatever, hot streak. I fucking hope to God that he comes somewhere back in the middle between where he is now and where he was then with his range shooting. But yeah, also, well, no, Budenholzer for maintaining, continually starting Ryan Dunn and not Royce O'Neal or Grayson Allen. Royce O'Neal's been a bit down. You could probably give it to him as well. But yeah, no, I'm going to give it to
until the last game anyway.
Because I'm just hazing these fucking rookies, man. I'm just giving them their.
I'm gonna stick up a little bit for Ryan Dunn. I think he's been sore. I think he's playing through a bit of soreness at the moment. There was a couple of games.
I'll change.
Couple of games there where he came up cringing after plays. Like, looks to me like he's a bit sore in the ankles. So I think he's gutsing his way through maybe a bit of soreness. This few days will help him out, like it will everyone. I mean, we're going into a gap, and we'll speak about that in a second. But yeah, look, it's a fair call though. Ryan Dunn hasn't had the offensive impact that he did early on. But for me, the man who has to have an offensive impact and just isn't is still Grayson Allen. Grayson's got to pull his finger out. There's something different to me about Grayson this year, and it's not the whole bulk up.
You reckon?
Not the bulk up thing, right? Not the bulk. No. It's an attitude thing. Last year he was when he got interviewed and stuff like that. There was something there with Grayson where he had a point to prove. This year, to me, it feels like I proved my point last year. Now I'll just cruise.
I don't think it is. I don't think he can have an attitude problem. I think he's a hell of a competitor. I think he's
so do I.
And I think he's a hell of a team player as well. I don't think he's going to have an attitude problem. I think the problem that I have. Grayson isn't playing to his standard since he had the baby and everything like that. He's come back in and just remember he's not starting anymore. He's seeing different coverage. It's a lot different to what he was seeing previously. He's seeing different coverage, but he's not getting the space. He's not getting the space, and I've seen him when he's had.
I disagree with that. He's had a lot of open shots that he's just not burying.
No, yeah, well, yeah, okay, but he's playing his way back in. But for the most part, he hasn't had the same running crew as he's had. Whether it's been because of injury or it's because playing more with the second unit with only one of the big three instead of three of them. I think the fact that he's been relegated to the bench and it's on his own fucking asking. I think it's something that he needs time to acclimate to a little bit. I think Bud made a mistake over the last week. By the way, don't get me wrong. I think Grayson should have started over the last week with Beal and Durant out. Grayson should have been in that starting lineup. Yeah, he needs to get his rhythm, man. Needs to get rhythm.
For me, it's not only the rhythm thing. It's we've set up a starting five that is Tyus at point guard, Beal and Bourke. So it's effectively three guards running the first three positions. Yet when Durant and Beal have been out, we've reverted and gone back to a couple of additional big guys in the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have just ran with. I would have slotted Grayson straight in.
Royce had a similar run to Grayson. He was everyone's fucking favorite guy in the world when the big three were about, because it just takes that pressure off, right? When you're that guy.
But the difference, I think, and I was looking at Royce as well, but the difference for me was Royce was still impacting the defensive end.
Yeah. Fairly
significantly. And I get this, right, Joel? I get this. But how long are we going to use this as an excuse now? I mean, he's been back for 2 weeks. It's time for me that, as I said, the Royce thing. Royce was shooting poorly. He was struggling, but defensively he was still there. He was still that dog. I'm just not sure Grayson's had any real impact on either end of the floor. He had that one good game. I think he had 17 points or something like that in one of the games this week. Shot the ball okay, started to get to the ring again, and I hope that changes, right? And I agree, Joel. He'll bounce back. I've got no doubt. I'm not sitting here trying to slander Grayson Allen by any means. What I'm saying is he's the guy that needs to pull his finger out and show us what that same on-court attitude that we saw last year. And I don't think that the on-court attitude is the same now.
And that's the only thing. Look, I think he needs to pull his finger out as well, but I don't think it's attitude related. I think it's
okay.
And
we might have a point of opinion difference there, but that's just the way I'm seeing it at the moment. Is I don't feel like Grayson's working his ass off to get into that position this year, where last year we saw that every week. So I absolutely agree. I think he'll bounce back, but this is pull your finger out now, Grayson, and be, because he's also heading to veteran stage too, man. When we talk about leadership,
he is a veteran.
Yeah, when we talk about that leadership, this is an opportunity here for Grayson to step into that leadership as well and drag the team along, right? Grayson and Royce, they should be stepping up and fulfilling that in the absence of KD and Beal, and supporting Book in that sense. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move on. The upcoming week, we've got no games until Wednesday, our time. So I think that it's given the last 7 days, it's a nice little period, even though it's weird to have sort of 6 days off before games. For Suns fans, not only the Suns as a whole, because it gives our team a chance to heal and come back against the Lakers altogether, but for Suns fans, I think we mentally needed a break after the last 7 days. So we could sort of refresh week check.
Yeah, I can't keep watching that shit. It's a good break for them to have a good fucking hard look at themselves in the mirror.
and it gives us a chance to refresh mentally, recheck back in, and be ready for these guys coming back and a reshaped and re-energized Suns team coming out of the break. So Wednesday, 2:00, we've got the Lakers. Then back-to-back Thursday, 1 p.m. against the Brooklyn Nets. So the return of Cameron Johnson to the Footprint Center, coming off a 9 3-point made game too, by the way.
Not just that one, the last couple. He's been fucking fire.
From our man, Cam Johnson, but he's about to get a little bit of a taste of the dungeon on Thursday, 1 p.m. our time. And then on Sunday against the Western Conference leading Golden State Warriors. How do you see this week playing out, Boyd?
So it's 3 games, is it?
3 games this week before we pod again next Sunday.
Yeah, look, Durant and Beal are back. Regardless, I'm giving you 3 W's. Again, Brooklyn's going to be tougher than everyone's sleeping on Brooklyn at the moment. They're trying to make some noise and get some trade value for some of their guys before they flick some of them and get some more draft picks or whatever. But yeah, I think and they're Cam Johnson, man. Fuck, I'm gonna hate him just like I fucking hate Macau after the Knicks beat us. I'm gonna hate him if they come out here and give us one. I'm gonna fucking hate him too. I thought I'd never hate the Twins, but I'm fucking there. I'm there. I'm not fucking having it at all.
You've moved on.
I will hate them in replacing me hating one of my own players. So that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Yeah. So I'll give you 3 W. So it's Brooklyn.
Lakers first. How we beat the Lakers, mate? Because we know it's the Nurk nightmare matchup.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna. Is it gonna be 3 in a row that he fucking shits the bed totally? It's hard to believe that could happen. But I don't know. Do we go that one of them big lineups again? Do we see more Mason, or you probably see more Mason rather than, because he did really well when he took over from Nurk originally against the Lakers. Mason really held up well. So yeah, no, I'd like to see a Mason start for that game. If we see Mason start, I reckon we flog him 11 plus for you bettors out there. But if he doesn't and it's Nurk again, we'll get it in. Yeah,
we'll only win by 9.
Yeah, only win by 9 or 8.
So what's your biggest concern out of that game then?
The fact that it's the first game introducing Durant and Beal back, it's just, and I know that we've got the previous. We had the first 9 with them guys in there, but there's just going to be. Our first quarters have been fucking shit. Like, regardless, we just had bad first quarters. It feels like forever. And just having them two back and everyone sort of stepping off and say, all right, you're going to do everything now. How keen are you to get back in it? I think it's just going to be that, again, the word that we keep on fucking using is that little bit of acclimation. Maybe a period or two. And I think that we finished strong in the second half and run them. Look, we've been so slow. Our offense, Gavin, has been. What's that stat that I gave you in them notes? I gave you fucking
26th in pace.
26th in pace, man. And it's since Beal and Durant have left the fold, it's been going downhill. So yes, it's we'll run them off the floor in the second half. We'll take the lumps in the porridge in the first.
Yeah, well, the Lakers have a couple of days off before this game as well. They play the Nuggets today, I think, and then a couple of days off before they play us on Wednesday our time. The biggest concern for me is the AD matchup. AD's been in MVP form this year, whether people like it or not. I know Suns fans, we hate Anthony Davis and we like to call him street clothes, but fact of the matter, let's give props where props are due. The Lakers are above us in the conference and above us in the division, and it's all off the back of Anthony Davis at the moment. Bron's been playing some solid basketball, but nothing spectacular, but solid. Look, for KD first up is usually pretty good. So I'm going to back that KD comes in and has a 15-point first quarter, and the Suns do get the win against the Lakers, bouncing back. We'll see our structures back. We'll see the way we want to set up this team back again against the Lakers. And Suns fans will be happy again because we've beaten the Lakers and tied up the records.
Do you think we got a bit of a minutes restriction for the guys coming back?
No. I can't see minutes restriction for either of them.
So we dropped Durant from 45 per game to 42 maybe?
I think I'm still hoping we can get him down.
Not quite that high, but yeah.
I'm hoping we can get him down to around that 32 to 35 mark. But yeah, who knows? Probably if we keep having close games, obviously that won't happen because we need KD out on the floor. But
you know what, Grayson? You know what Grayson needs to do? He needs to come out and he needs to just fucking. It's the first layup that fucking AD goes for. He needs to put his shoulder down and just fucking go straight into his fucking kneecaps and break the fucking things. Then we're fucking just do that right at the start of the game. Bring back that Milwaukee Buck brand of fucking Grayson Allen and just kill that cunt. leg wise, not really, but you know what I mean. And just fucking we need some arsehole out there too. And if it comes at the expense of Anthony,
it's the big thing that's the big thing with Nurk and Plumlee. So it's a good call. Those two at the moment are giving up a lot of fouls, but they're giving up soft fouls. I want to see them give up hard foul. If AD is going to go to the basket and looks like he's going to score, Nurk, fucking hit him. Make him earn every single basket that he's going to get an and one opportunity for. Not this tiny little, I'm going to reach in and try and strip the ball. Fucking smash him.
Yeah.
Body contact, nice, solid. Let him know that, hey, dickhead, you come into this paint and we're going to hammer the fuck out of you. We've got 3 centers, maybe even 4 if we want to. We'll roll bowl out here for fucking 5 minutes just to smash you a couple of times. But I want them to physically step up the game on the inside with some of these guys. We give up a shitload of ambulance, and they're soft.
He'll give him a little ball tickle. He's not going to fucking hurt AD.
All he's got to do is get his lanky, pointy fucking elbows and accidentally collect the bloke in the head.
Out there and give him a Chinese burn or something like that.
That's it. All right, Brooklyn. So Brooklyn waltzes into town on Thursday, mate. What's your biggest concern in the Brooklyn game? Where do we need to slow Brooklyn down?
It's really hard to put a look. It's Cam Johnson for one. He's their hottest right now. Cam Thomas is another guy. Look, they're just we need to play a little bit ad lib in the sense go out there and suss them out, feel them out, and just be ready to fucking throw done on whoever it is that fucking spastic that is going to go out there and shoot and score, put 40 on us. You know, there's always that guy, right?
And it's usually that was going to be mine too. It's usually that random bloke who's not great all year, but when he gets on a heater, he becomes a flamethrower. It's always against the fucking Suns, and that'll be Cam Thomas.
We need to adjust, right? We need to adjust.
Cam Thomas will come out. For me, Cam Johnson might hit 5 threes, right? But he's going to score 18.
Yeah.
If Cam Thomas gets on a heater, he'll score 50.
Yeah.
So that's the concern for me. If it's Tyus Jones that's going to go out there and try and slow down Cam Thomas, that's a concern.
Yeah, well,
because Cam Thomas is just stronger.
Bud just needs to fucking read the room, and if he starts, say, all right, done, just switch up with Tyus and just fucking shut this cunt up for a bit. Simple. That's how I'd coach it.
But I think the Suns win that one and win it comfortably. Hopefully, second game of KD and Bradley Beal. It is a back-to-back, so I know everyone sort of goes, but back-to-back should be tired. Hey, we're just coming off a week off. I don't see that the second game of that back-to-back is going to be overly exhausting. I think what we'll see is that Brooklyn game, because defensively Brooklyn they've got some gaps. That'll be the type of game that we see Grayson hit 5 or 6 threes and Royce hit 4 or 5 threes. Book will have 27, KD will have 30, Bradley Beal will have 22, and then we'll have like Grayson and Royce both having sort of 15 points each off 4 or 5
That'll be the
threes.
second night of a back-to-back too. So it's it'll be interesting to see how they handle our fucking Mr. Glass players, fucking guys who.
Oh, they'll play him for sure. We've got a week off in the lead up.
Who's our third game?
Our third game is Golden State on Sunday.
Yeah, okay, they're going well.
So obviously leading the West at the moment and playing some pretty good basketball, the Warriors. How do you see that game going, mate? How are we going to beat the Warriors?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Nurk-Draymond matchup.
Ooh, the rivalry returns.
There's going to be another storyline come from this one. I can't wait for it. Steph's been a little bit on and off this season. It feels like the age is starting to catch up with him. So it's not who else is there? Wiggins has been on a bit of a heater of late. So, yeah, it's another one that we're just going to have to, similar to Brooklyn, is just wait to see which guy. Kuminga's been coming off the bench, hadn't he?
He has. He got relegated to the bench in the last week or so.
He's asking for too much money. But, look, I think it's going to be one of them games, man. Buddy Hield, he's been getting hot a few games there. But
Buddy Hield's doing the Buddy Hield, right? Where he walks into a team, dominates for the first 3 weeks. Everyone goes, fucking look at Buddy Hield go, and then he just disappears. Yeah,
I've got him in one of my fantasy teams. I do know that. Look, I think it's going to be since Draymond's coming back, they've been really potent. I think we need to somehow stifle his playmaking, his the way, because he's not only a defensive connector, he's an offensive connector. If we can get him off of his game, maybe get Nurk to get under his, reference some of his tweets or something, and just get in under his skin. Maybe get a couple of texts on him, get him thrown out of the game. Let's do that.
Yeah, because looking at the Warriors roster, it's not that impressive, right? But their role players do exactly that. They play their role. Told. Yeah, they do what they're told. They perform every week, like Podzametsky or whatever his fucking name is. Moses Moody, Gary Payton. These guys they go in, they do what they're required to do. That makes the Golden State Warriors a tougher matchup, and it always will. Defensively, they'll be solid, as they always are. As you said, they're playing Draymond as a 4 this year more, though. They're really using Trace Jackson and Kevon Looney in that center role rather than Draymond as much. I think I think they've made a concerted effort to pull Draymond back to the fore, so that he's not. I think they're trying to protect him a little bit from getting a bit older and not having to bang bodies with those big centers. But their pick and roll's been the best in the competition for 10 years, and that's the problem for the Suns. Is you watch the Golden State Warriors on the pick and roll; they're phenomenal. Like the entire structure is phenomenal, and the Suns at times really struggle to combat the pick and roll. We lose our opposition in traffic, and we get scored on that backdoor cut a lot. And the Warriors are the best at it. So that's the big concern there. From my point of view, I don't know how this team is first in the West, but this is the biggest concern game for me this week. I think the Warriors game is a real worry. It is at the Footprint Center again.
Yeah, I agree.
I know that Stephen Kerr doesn't like the Footprint Center. He thinks it's too loud. He thinks it's a nightclub. So hopefully that pisses him off again. But yeah, this is the biggest worry game for me.
They turn it up for him. Turn it up a couple.
I'm going to go with the win on it, but I'm sort of 50-50. I'm sitting on the fence. I think my mind may change based on the outputs of the first two games.
You've got 3 W's. Like me.
I've got 3 W's this week. I do, boy.
I can't take another lot. I can't take one.
I think by this time next Sunday, you'll be sitting here after the Warriors game, live on the Aussie Suns Fans pod, just like beating your chest about how wonderful this team is.
Right.
And then we're heading directly towards the end of season Frank Worrell Trophy. There we go. It's ours. We're going to Phoenix to be in the parade. That'll be you next Sunday. I'm sure of it.
Yes, correct.
All right, stat of the week, Boyd. Talk to me about your stat of the week.
Well, Gavin, this is one that we sort of discussed this morning, and it's based off of what we've done since losing Kevin Durant, and it's our defensive rating. So our defensive rating was we were having 110 points per 100 possessions with Durant and the big three intact. Since Durant's leaving, that's blown out to, Gavin, 121?
121.1.
121 points per 100 possessions. So we've had an 11-point swing since then. So really, and both Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant are both fucking great defensive guys and leaders, as we discussed earlier. So yeah, it's just my stat is basically our defense has fucking dropped, and so has our offense for that matter. One thing with our you speak on the defensive hustle that you before I go.
I think it's an important one. Like, yes, as you said, Durant and Beal, both really, really good defenders, and they have been good defenders for us. But one of the biggest concerns for me during this last 7 games is that drop. So we've gone from 10th in the league in defensive rating to 28th, so last in defensive rating in the last 7 games. Yeah. 28th in defensive rating right now. We spoke about it when we were talking about those games. That hustle, that extension, that ability to want to stop the opposition from scoring disappeared completely since Durant and Beal haven't been on the floor.
And it's not just their defensive impact. It's again the same as what Draymond is on the Warriors. He's a defensive connector. Same way Jay Crowder, the guy I always bang on about. That's who he was for us. He was a defensive glue guy. We get a little bit out of Royce, but not to the extent that we get out of the likes of Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. And it's eventuated in that 11-point swing for the West.
And for me, when you're missing Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, and as you said, over the last 7 days, we've also missed Nurk. We've also missed Grayson Allen. Like we've had players out. For me, the way that you cover for that is your intensity and your spread and your effort on the defensive end. And we just haven't stepped up to that at all. That's been the biggest concern because when the other team scores, it's about momentum. And that's what we've been giving up in the last 7 games. We've been giving up opposition momentum. And opposition momentum is and can be a significant factor on your output on the offensive end. So when we go cold and start shooting poorly, we can't get stops at the other end. And we're just not hustling enough on that defensive end. And that defensive rating over the last 7 days just shows that, right?
It works the other way as well. If your defensive effort or your defensive connectivity is down, it takes away from your offense as well, because a lot of your offense is generated through through good defensive plays. So so we're missing. It works both ways, and it's really important, and it's been lacking big time. Well,
absolutely.
Our average. So we've got a plus 500 record, but our margin of victory is minus 2.5 points. So over all them wins, we're averaging scoring 2.5 points less than our opposition in a plus 500 scenario. So, and that's all happened mostly in this because our wins were tight to start the year. All these losses, these 5 losses in a row, have just sort of dragged that right down. So, yeah, they're getting us.
Yeah, and that's been the point. But we've spoken about it now. We've run over it. We've gone over stat of the week. Boyd, I think you and I agree. We're drawing a line in the sand here now. We're going to forget about what's happened over these first 16 games. Our season starts now. Against the Lakers this week, we're starting again. Where the mindset is Durant, Beal back. We're going to get healthy. From here on in, we're 3-0 this week. It's all just about to explode for us as Suns fans, right?
It is, mate. It is. We're not getting any more L's for the rest of the year. We're going to win fucking everything and the in-tournament fucking cup. I think we're 1-1 in that.
We are 1-1. Yeah,
1-1, but we've got some points differential we have to fix up, which we will.
Significant points differential.
Yes. Man, that's one thing. I love the fact that these games play right down to the wire, Gav. These tournament games. Oh,
it wasn't as fun, to be honest. It wasn't as fun the other day when we cleared the bench out at the end, and they left their fucking. Who was it? Was it the Knicks? The Knicks still had fucking Cat and everyone still in the game, and I'm going fucking hell.
Was it the Knicks?
It might have been the Knicks. I don't know. We emptied our bench out, and they pretty much had all their guys in for another couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you because you play basketball until the final buzzer. We've had this discussion many times before, but
that's how you break records, Gavin.
That's it, my friend. That is it. Okay, so let's move on to the important questions of the week, Boyd.
I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
Who do you want to have a beer with this week?
Mate, I want to have a beer with Mr. AZ Sports, the guy that put that post up shaming the city of Arizona for spending $700,000 on a logo.
It wasn't just the logo.
Shut up, mate. The post said it was just a logo, so it's just a logo. It's too much money to be spending on a logo. And
I'm just gonna write random Twitter posts now about some fucking shit with no detail whatsoever because you just believe anything that's put into a post.
When I'm having this beer with Mr. AZ or whatever the fuck his name is, we're gonna be talking about it, and I'm gonna be like, hey man, and if there is a full fucking branding campaign, reps out on the road, fucking selling the shit, whatever, stickers, tell us, and don't put this fucking vague shit up that makes people lose their minds. And the reason that I don't like that shit is because it's fucking I've seen it over here in Australia too, where there has been a lot of fucking garbage behind very small projects, and it's millions upon millions of dollars wasted. So I saw that and I thought, oh fucking, they do it over there too. And then in our
how do you know it's millions of dollars wasted though? Just because they spend that amount of money doesn't mean it's wasted.
No.
Have you got data? Have you got data on the returns?
There was actually stories done on it. You know the flagpole getting built in Sydney. What was it? Yeah, you remember that one, and it blew out. Now there were reports coming out. The itemization of it was fucky, and it wasn't right. But when they gave the real one, because it became a thing, people believed the fucking bullshit post. When they gave us the real one, it was a lot less, but it was still fucking stupid. So I know that it goes on, and I don't like it.
What about the additional revenue returns at the end of it, though? That's what I'm interested in. If you're going to make an investment on marketing your area,
I don't think the logo alone does that, mate.
Well, it's not just a logo, though.
It's all that other stuff.
It's a full branding. It's a full branding exercise.
Yeah, well, we don't know this, mate. We don't know this.
Of course, we know this. If you actually look it up,
and all you fuckheads in the chat, just fucking jump on it and hammer me because you fucking because you think that there's all this other stuff to substantiate the.
There is, because the people in the chat actually Googled it and looked at what the whole thing was. You just went that Twitter post. You just went that Twitter post is right.
Straight off the Twitter post. Hey, hey, read my Twitter bio, man. My superpower is the ability to form strong opinions on very little information, and I got this one. Until proven otherwise,
that was your Twitter bio. That was your Twitter bio to an absolute T.
It fucking is. It's a superpower.
Yeah, I want to have a beer this week, and I think what I need is my fellow Suns fans and the Phoenix Suns supporting community to come with me. I don't think I've ever really said I want to have a beer with this guy, even though he doesn't drink. But I think what I need to do is fly past, pick up Boyd, go over to Arizona, mainly because they did such a magnificent logo. So I'm inspired to travel there now. And we need to go and have a beer with our friend at So Says Jay, because I think as Suns fans, we all need a little bit of positive vibes at the moment. And as you're aware, Boyd, Justin's the man to bring that to us. He can convince anyone that the Suns are going to be okay.
He is the greatest Suns fan. He is not only the greatest Suns fan, but he is the Suns Fans Council. He is our moral compass. He is whenever there is something wrong with the Suns, we turn to Justin, or So Says Jay,
to set our mind right.
Yes.
He sets our mind right, puts us back on the path.
Gavin.
Yes.
I love Justin more than you love Justin.
Well, clearly not, because I'm the one that brought up I wanted to go and have a beer with him. You want to have a beer.
I've done it heaps of times before.
You want to have a beer.
My beer of the week heaps of times.
You want to have a beer with people who only give you half the information. I go to Justin because that's the source. He gives me all the information I need.
Oh, he's got the source.
Right now, this was more about the fact that Suns fans need some positive influence in their lives, and the man to do that is So Says Jay. So Jay, I'm coming back over for a beer. No, I am not. Pay for your own fucking shit. Stop asking me to pay for everything.
Fuck that guy.
Who this week, Boyd, made you sit back and go, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Apart from the entire effort it felt like on the defensive end, it's a hard one to fucking do a fuck that guy for. So it's going to be a little bit of a strange one. I sort of jinked and changed from Ryan Dunn to Budenholzer for not for starting Dunn even when he was down. I'm going to give it to Budenholzer again. And the reason being, not only does he have to pull his finger out, but I just feel like we needed to make a statement internally through some of these games. And I threw up some comments online about fucking empty the bench at the end of the third. and just fucking, all right, cunts, yous aren't doing it. Go have a good hard look at yourselves. Let's put some guys in who are, let's see some fucking tie. Let's get fucking Gillespie out in his moon boot, because he's gonna fucking get to his spots a bit better than what you cunts are. Defensively, he's gonna get some fucking better fucking coverage. No, but yeah, I just, and it's probably a bad thing to do as a coach and as a franchise and whatever. That's just me. I'd be so pissed off that I'd just be like, fucking get out of here, cunts. Just go back to the fucking locker room. Don't even watch the game, because you better watch cunts put in effort, and you cunts don't know what that is. Fucks.
So I got confused with the whole. Who are you saying fuck that guy to?
The coach.
Is it the player's lack of effort, or is it the coach for not?
I changed. Yeah, it's Bud. It's Bud. Bud.
It's Bud.
Bud knows.
So fuck that guys, and fuck that guy for Coach Bud.
Fuck them all.
Fuck them all. All right.
Asshole.
Mine is that I got the opportunity to watch one game of basketball properly these last 2 weeks, just due to work and commitments and all that sort of stuff. And it was the Minnesota game. And I was really enjoying the game. The guys, they were putting in the effort. We were playing fantastically well. Our first half was amazing. We put everything into that game. Book was unstoppable. We saw Armani mode again. It was fucking great to watch. So the problem that we had was from the very start of the last quarter until the very end of the game, it was 5 versus 8. But one in particular, the man that made me sit there and go, fuck that guy, was Carl Lane, the referee who was involved in pretty much all of the controversial calls. He called an offensive foul on Grayson Allen on a shove-off because old mate fucking just threw his arms in the air and fell on the fucking ground. Guess what, Carl? That is a flopping tech. It's not a fucking offensive foul, you fucking moron.
Yeah, mate.
Then we had, of course, Julius Randle come down, elbow Royce O'Neal right in the face on an offensive foul where they called the foul on Royce. Stupid fucking Randle gets an N1. We go down the other end, the exact same fucking play where Plumlee does it to Randle, and we call an offensive foul on fucking Plumlee. If it happens at one end and the same thing happens at the other end, they're the same fucking call.
It's not fair, Gavin.
It's not fair. And then, of course, Carl, you get the final play of the game, where good old Julius just decides to shove off on fucking Josh Okogie. Now, yes, Josh put some sauce on it. But guess what, Carl? You called an offensive foul on Grayson Allen for the same shit at the other end.
Yep.
Then Julius Randle just decides to go for a stroll. He just takes fucking 4 steps and shoots a step back 3.
The 2-minute report.
Travel, Carl. It's a fucking travel.
Not fair, Carl.
You spent the entire last quarter trying to fuck the Phoenix Suns. You didn't even lube up first.
And you fucked us, you did.
And you fucked us. So, Carl, then you followed up on the second game of the home stand and you reffed us again. And to be honest, I watched about 10 minutes of you fucking us raw again before I just went, I can't watch Carl anymore. Lucky I've got shit to do.
He likes
Carl,
that Phoenix. He likes that Phoenix bottom. That's for sure.
he enjoyed it very much. Carl Lane, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Boyd, any last comments? Where can we find you?
Oh, mate. You can find me anxiously waiting for redemption somewhere on the Brisbane north side in my garage, probably working or out on the road. Or yeah, you can find me drowning my sorrows as well. Probably any day leading up to our redemption day. But yeah, or at Buds83 on the Twitter, at Aussie Suns Fans on the Instagrams. At Fucko on a mystery platform, which isn't Blue Sky. Blue Sky.
No, someone said that the other day, and they went, "Oh, we found your fucking mystery platform," but it doesn't say at Fucko on Blue Sky, people. No, it's not the mystery platform.
No, there's another mystery one. Blue Sky. Check out my profile pic. It's of a penis. It
is of a sad penis too.
It's a sad penis. It's a very cute, sad penis with a big set of balls. It's lovely. It's fucking hilarious. That's the sort of shit. And what's his name? Saul sent me that message in the group chat saying, "I'm not fucking adding you with that fucking profile." And I said, that's.
I love that. It was the most random fucking message ever.
Yeah.
I saw the message and it come from Saul, and I went, what's Saul messaging us? And then he sends the picture and goes, "I'm not following anyone with a fucking photo like this on their thing." And I laughed my ass off because I hadn't seen that you'd followed me on Blue Sky at that stage, so I hadn't seen the picture. And then I saw it and I just went, "Holy fucking hell, boy!"
And then
the worst thing is you wrote your fucking name on it.
I've replied with, that's probably why he's so sad. The dickhead is so sad. No one likes him. Oh, it's so cool. It's funny.
It was very funny. It's a very funny photo. I need your Twitter profile, your Twitter photo to follow suit.
Okay.
And I feel like you should probably put it on every single one of your mystery platforms, as well as Facebook, whatever else. We may even change the logo to the Aussie Suns Fans. I might send it out and go, "Hey, can you put Aussie Suns Fans on this for me?" And we'll do a bit of magic and have the sad penis. And then what we'll do, we'll keep our profile picture that Voider made for us for the Wings, and then whenever they lose, I'll just switch it over to the sad penis.
Oh, that reminds me. We have to Venmo fucking Voider $700,000 or some shit for the logo work he did. But he's been doing it for free. It's fucking it's unbelievable. He does a great job though. It's worth.
But he only does logo at the moment. He doesn't do any additional branding or marketing. So until he delivers a full product, he's not getting the 700,000.
He's not getting the 700. Well, other places would.
No, they wouldn't. Not for a logo. So, you you've got to survey the market. You've got to build. Come on, mate. There's a lot of work to go. It takes 10 months to build that.
No,
Voider made our logo in about 15 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the way it works. Follow us on at Aussie Suns Fans on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, subscribe this video, do all that sort of shit. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you can leave a review. Most of it is Boyd leaving a review of himself. So if anyone else would like to give us a review, that'd be great. Boyd just basically comes up with a new username and leaves a different review sort of 5 times a week, which is great. Thanks, Boyd. Appreciate your support of the podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. We will be back next week after the Warriors game, hopefully with a 3-0 week. And over the course of this week, I forgot to mention, did you see I went to the Pearl Jam concert? And of course, Pearl Jam is my GOAT, my favorite band of all time. It was the greatest concert I've ever been to in my life. But one of the things that came up in that concert, which makes me think that our friend Eddie Vedder likes to watch the Aussie Suns Fans podcast, because Eddie made it very clear in his concert that we're not here to fuck spiders.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but